Let's go. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. You walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Hey.
Hi, this is Lee Fields, and you're watching Clique Talk.
Will I get off easy this time? Oh, will I get off easy this time? Oh, it rains blood when I'm with you. It rains blood when I'm with you. You're my sun when clouds roll through. It rains blood when I'm with you. We can make the world better if we come together. I said we can make the world better if we come together.
We should begin, I think, by wishing you a happy anniversary because this year, 2019, is your 50th year in musical career.
Yes, it is.
50 years before It Rains Love, you recorded EP
Bewildered.
called Bewildered.
Right.
Bewildered, lost in a dream.
How old were you at the time?
I was 18 when I recorded it, and it was released about 6 months later.
Okay, and what was the Lee Fields at the time dreaming of?
Basically the same thing I'm dreaming of now, making music that make sense and making music that brings something to the table other than just folly. You know, I try to make music that make people closer to one another, and opposed to being selfish and all about oneself. It's all about others.
And you're still dreaming of that, of doing
Yes,
that.
I'm still dreaming of that.
And I think it's fair to say that you came in at a time that one could call the James Bond era.
Yeah.
Yourself, you've been named the little JB. What was your relationship with the surname and the guy?
Well, actually, people, when I was a kid, people actually thought I was James Brown's son. And they just started calling me that, I guess because of the uncanny resemblance. And, but I didn't promote that. They just, they thought I was his son.
But you knew him, right?
I met him. I met him later on. I met him in '73, and I got a chance to meet my hero. And that's when I really realized that everyone should be on the quest of making who they are.
That's what he did for you.
Apparently to the people. When I saw James, and I said, James Brown, Lee Fields, James, it can't be but one James. So that's when I really went on the quest of trying to find who I am.
So in that sense, it changed your life, right?
Yeah, meeting him changed my life.
You kept on doing music all around the 70s, and then the 80s came, and the disco came, and I think it hit the soul music pretty hard, right?
Well, it did, but in latter times, I made more clear as to why I took a hiatus at that time. My wife's sister in '77 was brutally killed by her husband, which was a friend of mine, and she was also a friend. And we ended up raising their one and only son, Dale. So as the 80s approached, although I was still doing music, but my passion has grown a little less because I thought it was more important for me to be a father because I had 2 kids of my own at the time. Now I got another kid that I'm raising. And then trying to make sense out of why did he do this crazy act of ending both of their lives. Then, if you're a musician, you're on the road, you got to travel. So I had to figure out a way how to be close to my family at the time because I felt like if there were a time where they really needed me as a husband and a father was then.
That's why you got into real estate?
Well, first I started reading the Bible, trying to make some sense of it all, because I'm a God-fearing person. And for someone to do something as crazy as he did, and I was trying to look for answers, so I started reading the Bible and hoped that God would give me energies and strength to be the person that I needed to be at that time, to be strong and encouraging, because I was just as weak as the rest of them. Everything was like falling apart. It was like total chaos. And but as I read, in my weak moments, I became strong. And as I read the King James Version of the Bible, which contains Old English. So therefore, it enlightened me regarding to words, complicated words that were on contracts. So the more I read the Bible and found the etymology of the word, it made contracts very simple to comprehend. So I pursued, they had these programs on TV to obtain real estate and all of this. And I was able to read those contracts, so it was easy for me to obtain real estate. And then I said, well, the Bible must be working. So I had not a rich income, but I had a viable income to take care of a family. But of course, after a while, that grew. I grew. The love of music came back strong. And but I was still convinced that real estate was the best thing that I should do at that time.
I'm going to ask a very stupid question. Is it possible to sing soul music without having experienced hardships in life?
Well, I think, yes, I think it's possible to sing soul music without having hardships in life if a person understands. If a person is compassionate and feel what another person and can imagine what another person have lost or what another person is going through, yes, it's possible. But I think soul music, according to the way it was introduced to me, soul music is like the first cousin of gospel. Gospel is singing about the when and the then, the coming, the when and the then, when he comes and what he's gonna do and all of that. But soul music is believing that the when and the then will happen, but singing about things that are affecting us now and hoping that God would have some sort of compassion and make these hardships a little less hard. So soul music is like the first cousin of gospel. So I think of a true soul singer got to respect God. So I'm a God-fearing man.
There's something very interesting. It's soul music never left the music scene.
It never left.
But there's been
It
a
never will.
resurgence. It never will. But there's been a resurgence in the youth generations. There's been a new soul scene in the year 2000. And one thing that I find very interesting is that these youngsters try to pay homage and to emulate the sound of the 60s, 70s. And you came from this era, but you chose to be really modern in your production, in the way you sound. How? Why?
Well, I try to be like, I'm very vigilant when it comes down to music. I listen to, once or twice a week, I listen to whatever is being played. I try to listen to as much stuff as I can, new stuff, so that the songs that we record would be of now. But when I sing these songs, I sing it with the passion of a soul singer, like belief that God is real, you know. So, and I ask the Comforter to give me strength and energy and say it the right way where people can really feel what I'm saying. I think in order for a person to be contemporary, a person has to listen to what is happening at that moment, but interpret it the way they interpret it. So I'm a soul singer, so I sing things, and Leon, my producer, he truly liked to produce music that are played by humans, which I love music that are played by human beings. And opposed to, we can use all kinds of sound and be more, sounding more like what you hear today. But that's not my personality. My personality is to be me. And I come from that era, but I want to interpret it in a form and in a fresh way where a young person today would say, hey, I'm kind of liking this. I guess that's the reason why all of these rappers are using my tracks.
Yeah.
You know, like Travis Scott and all those guys.
Don't go through the front door. It's low key at the night show. So don't you open up that window. Don't you let out the antidote.
Can you tell us the story about this song, or how did you react the first time you heard it?
Well, you know, he did his interpretation of slowing things down and putting his artistry on it, and it worked out. He sold a lot of records, and how I reacted, I was excited, you know, and honored, and then it ended up being a lucrative thing for me. So that made me happy. So I'm really happy.
How did you react the first time you heard an artist sample your songs?
I
Do you remember the first time you heard someone sample you?
Yeah, but I mean, I felt good knowing that I did something that someone felt that it would fit in what they have in mind, because that's the whole purpose. The whole purpose is to be, it don't have to be all about me. It doesn't have to be all about me. I just want to do something that others think is worthwhile. So I reacted in a very positive fashion. I was happy, I was elated. I was like, hey man, that's cool. And I laughed and I had a good time, man. It was a good feeling.
There's another track that I would like to hear. It's by you, and it's called Faithful Man.
I've always been a faithful man till you came along. I've always been a grateful man. I've always been a faithful man.
I like this song because it's your wedding anniversary, right?
Yeah.
It's been 50 years.
50 years.
So
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, thank you. And it's been a good 50 years. We had our ups and we had our downs, but if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it at the drop of a hat. It's been a wonderful experience, you know, because I think the purpose of all human beings, man, is to find their soulmate. And I found mine. And to have things, and things are just things. You can't take them with you. But when you have someone to enjoy those things and those moments where you can go back and talk about what happened years ago, it extends life. Because we all know that we are destined to be succumb in life, and we just not forever. And to have someone to share those precious moments and even the down moments with, hey, there's something that money can't buy.
The French media describes you as the last singer who can teach us how to make love. Are you comfortable with that definition?
To teach a person
how to make love?
Well, I could teach a person how to understand love and how to love. The only thing you got to do to love is love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul and all their might.
Well,
and then love your neighbor as yourself. And if you do that, that encompasses everything that love is.
You have an amazing longevity both in music and in your personal life, in your wedding. Do you have any advices for us? I think he's gonna insult me, but this guy just married last month, so we're taking any advice.
Yes, and I wanted to say that actually I got married on this song, if we can hear it.
It rains blood.
Oh yeah? Thank you. Thank you so much.
It rains blood.
And I hope your marriage sustain time. And I know that it will if you take your spouse as yourself, as part of your flesh. Now, you wouldn't hurt yourself, would you?
I heard in an interview that she had a very important place in your life, and that notably she helps you with your suits.
Oh yeah, she picks out all of the suits. I would say she's probably 60% of who I am. Because, to be frank with you, I really need her. I really need her. I mean, it would be hard for me to imagine. I put in one of my songs, If I Wake Up and Find You Gone. Man, I don't know what I would do. But I worry about that when I get there. And I pray that God will give me strength to pull it off as far as to continue. But that's how strong the love is. I think if there was a situation where there was grave danger of whether one could survive and one not to survive, we probably both would perish, because I wouldn't leave that situation unless I would try to get her in a safe situation and believe that I would have enough time to get myself in a safe situation. I love her just, man, I can't even describe. It's just beyond the realm of description.
Is there a soul song that expresses such an unconditional love for you? What is the soul song that strikes you the most every time you hear it?
I really don't think that there's a song that has been written right now to describe this. And then if I wrote something that would describe it, would I have enough energy to sing it? Because this relationship goes beyond description. It goes beyond words. It probably would take me a long time to really sing it because I would get so wrapped up in emotions that certain songs, you know, that's deep. That's deeper than anything. I never thought of it that way. Kind of chokes me up. You was needed in my life, girl. You was needed in my life, girl. You was needed in my life, girl.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that for 6 months you were the frontman for Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it, please?
We were young. Kool and the Gang wasn't famous at the time. They had one record out, Kool and the Gang, the first record. I came along about that time. And Gene Red, their manager, thought I would be a good fit for Kool and the Gang. And we sounded good. Everything was all good. But what happened was, as they recorded instrumentals, the instrumentals become, every instrumental that they released became even more popular than the last one. So after a while, I realized that, you know, said to myself, these guys don't really need a singer because they, you know, it was like every record was getting bigger and bigger. So, so I decided to just pursue things on my own. And then when Gene Red died, that really sealed the deal because Gene Red was their manager. And although Kool and I was good friends, and his brother Ronnie, we was, you know, but Kool and I were really good friends. But when Gene passed away, and then all of their records seemed like they were just getting bigger and bigger. They had about two other releases from the time I got there. So I just took the hit. They didn't need a singer, so I left.
Some media describes you as the survivor of this golden age of soul music. Do you somehow feel that way?
No, I feel like I'm doing what God intended for me to do. I sing because I really want to bring to people in song that love is necessary in this world today. Love is a necessary ingredient. It's the necessary ingredient for the survival of mankind.
I've read in an interview in a US magazine that you said that during the span of your career, during the 50 years that you spent since you began singing, all the good things that you saw coming to America came out of love.
Yeah.
I want to talk about something that is as important as love. You were a very keen user of Instagram, and I saw you posting a lot of pictures with excellent food.
Yeah.
And you say that it rains food, and you mentioned the hashtag.
Yeah.
I thought it very cool.
Yeah, but that being said, it's just like these desolate places where they don't get enough rain. They got drones. They have drones now, man, tiny drones that could have water bags.
Yeah.
And when you see a cloud of drones coming in, and it could bring fertile soil to where it's now desolate. I mean, with technology and love in mind, we can make a much greater world. And then the people, the investors, will be getting not only a benefit from them living now, but their future, their progeny would be even more richer than they are. So they would be making a lot of money. At the same time, the world would be securing the longevity of the world. And until until God descends. Until God descends, you know, and live among us. But that's the thing with me. It's about whatever, especially you got all of this money. I can't understand it. You know, when they got all of this money, and we could do a lot of things, man, to make the world even a greater place to live. So my music, it's all about love, man. It's all about love. I think I can make a lot of records that would sell a lot or more records if I were just to sing foolishness. You know, if I were just to come up with something, man, I can think of a lot of stuff, man, I believe I could sell. It's not about that. It's about giving you something, you know, from what you're buying, and opposed to just selling foolishness. Because this time out for the foolishness, man, the world is in a crisis. We are in a very dire crisis. And unless we wake up out of this slumber and take actions now, it's gonna be too late.
Walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it. Ayy.